Alright. Alright.
Hey guys, we're here with the Snap-on Shop Essentials truck. We're going to look at some equipment today, look at some stuff that we might be interested in for the shop and see what they've got. They've got some welders over here. Everything's hooked up and runs so you can actually test out the welders. We've got floor jacks, looks like some scopes, torque wrench stuff, transmission jacks, tire machines. We don't do tires at this time, so we don't really need tire machines and balancers. Diagnostic equipment. We actually have that, so we're good on that one. What I want to know about is the AC machines. We're looking for something that'll do our 134 and 123YF in the same machine. Looks like you got one here. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so most manufacturers, especially Chrysler, started in 2017 going to YF. GM kind of followed suit as well. And then, of course, you got all your Europeans and exotics that are also following the same thing.
Yeah.
And it should be more popular as time goes on. Everyone should be sticking to that, even big trucks. So
the 123/4YF is supposed to be colder, right?
Yeah, it's not really the big thing about YF and 134. The main difference is one's less harmful for the person than the other. So
okay.
134 was not harmful for the environment, but if it leaked out on your shop floor and you had no ventilation, it's harmful.
Yeah.
YF dissipates and rises so quickly that it's not going to cause you any harm or the atmosphere.
It's insanely expensive materials. That's
Yeah.
that's what we're having the biggest issue with our customer base now. They're like, okay, it cost me like $30-40 to refill my 123/4A, and now we're getting into like $100 for a little tiny can.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
And you can only buy by the 10-pound canister. You can't buy the big 30s that I know of. So
yeah, it'd probably be $1 million, couple $1,000. Yeah.
No, the stuff's it comes at a premium price, but the good thing about that is so does the upcharge on everything else. So if they do have the YF system, you can kind of tax on a little bit more too, as far as the profit goes.
So what's the difference in your machine compared to the others on the market?
Ours is made by us. So back in the day, we used to have someone else making our AC machines. Since then, we've changed it many years ago, and this is our own company. Right? It's a Polartec Dual, and the difference between us is this is a true dual machine. So if you want to take a look at that, you've got two individual tanks, two separate lines. The only thing they share is one vacuum pump, and it's a 6 CFM vacuum pump. Benefit to that is faster charge down times, faster jobs, and its machine is pretty much hands off, so you don't have to mess with anything. You choose which side of the refrigerant you're on, so the YF side, and then you can go to automatic, choose your vehicle. So now this is going to have a database of all your different vehicles. So from Acura, Alfa Romeo, it's all in alphabetical. So you can go through Cadillac, and then do like a CTS, and then 2019. And it's going to tell you it holds 1.2 pounds of 123/4YF. You press enter, go to the next page. You can organize it by license plate or by the customer's name, or even if you have a fleet of cars, or say it's a Gene Messer vehicle and they want to report at the end of the year of how many cars they sent you. Well, you can plug a USB into the side, pull the entire year's data, and then send it to them in a file.
Okay.
Also has a receipt printer. So this will print off a receipt for either yourself or your customer, staple it to the report, hand it to them, or just log it for your own files. Now, this light that's red, this is a status light. It's the tallest part of the machine. So this is your working light. This light will begin to change a color, so it'll go to yellow or green. Go back, there's green. So that means the job's done. So if you started something, job's done. If it's yellow, that means it's working. Red means there's an issue.
Okay.
So like, as long as you can connect your hoses to the vehicle, it does everything else for you.
Okay.
It's not going to tell you where a vacuum leak is. I mean, that takes the human eyeball still, right? Or human intervention. But it does have digital gate or dials right here. So you have your traditional dials, so you can look at it. Or if you're close enough and you can get on Bluetooth, like if you're in your office doing work, you can look at it on your phone.
Okay.
So you can monitor the gauges. You can't change anything, but you can monitor it. Then, if you go to the manual side, say you've got a old classic car with a, like a LT1 or a different engine in it that still has all the original air conditioning in it.
Yeah.
You can still go through here and select that vehicle and do it that way.
Oh, really?
Too. Or
Okay.
you can do it manually. So if it's just a 350 small block with some vintage air in it, you can do it that way as well.
Okay. And then what you were telling me right before we started this, the big difference is we don't have to switch. It's a true separate system machine.
Yeah.
So we don't have to switch back and forth. We don't have to unhook stuff and rehook stuff up and things like that. So we can just, if we got a car that has 1234YF in it, we can just hook that up and go. If we got one that's 134A, we can just hook that up and go.
Yeah. So there's a 6-minute switch between it. So, and that's as much time as you have to spend. It'll give you a countdown too. So if you go to maintenance here, and then you can choose type of gas, and then now you've got your selection. So right here we're in the 1234YF, and when I press this, it'll take the 6-minute. It'll give you a counter. So changing gas, please wait. It'll pull vacuum, and then you'll see a timer here in a second. 6 minutes 40 seconds.
Okay, so it'll truly basically suck the system dry, refill it with 134, and tell us we're ready to go.
Yes, because you do have 2 separate hoses,
okay,
and you do have 2 separate filters. So you can see your filter on that side. We've got another filter over here, and then you've got an oil catch as well. And they're 2 separate scales. So while I was saying that, these tanks have heaters on them, and they're on digital scales, and you can recalibrate them too. So there's no really anything you have to do to call somebody if something goes down, or if the machine goes out of calibration. Like if you roll it outside and it takes a little tumble, you can recalibrate the scales yourself. You can do a lot of the analyzer checks. You no longer have to spend the $250 service call to bring somebody out to do it.
Yeah.
With that being said, we do have a 2-year parts and labor warranty. So nothing on this machine will need to be coming out of your pocket for 2 years.
Okay.
Other than like consumables like filters and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
10-foot hoses, so if a car's on a lift getting a brake job, you can do that as well. And then you've got a space on the back to have a secondary tank, so if you want to transfer, or if you know the system's contaminated, you can pull everything down into that tank, so that way you don't contaminate your $9 million of YF on one side.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the yellow light for you. There's that working status light.
Well, cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool with some of the stuff that they're coming out with now and changing some stuff up to get into the modern day changes that we're having with some of these cars. So I think that's a cool rundown of a pretty cool machine. And now we just got to decide if we're gonna go this route. So we'll see you guys next time.